Welcome to the Arsenal show. I nearly tripped up because in my mind it was saying the transfer exchange show, but it's not. This is the new show, the Arsenal show. And I'm welcoming my co-host, Steve K. How you doing, Steve?
I'm good, Kieran. Looking forward to the first episode of the Arsenal show. Looking at our lovely new modern banners and all these people that have been here right from day one. You know, this is where we're going. Exciting stuff.
All right. So this is the Arsenal show, the pre-match preview to the Brentford versus Arsenal game. But we will be bringing you the Arsenal show later on. A few surprises coming up very soon as well. But obviously, we cannot start this off without a pre-match preview because Arsenal are playing on Friday. So, Steve, nervous for the game, excited to get going for the season?
Yeah, I haven't seen us play yet, so I'm excited.
Yeah. It is. It's that, isn't it? It's that not seen us play, forget about the pre-season. So right now it's excitement. Halfway through the season, that could change to despair. But I'm hoping it's good news from now on. So we're going to keep positive. All right. Yeah. I'm going to start off with a bit of the team news. Okay. So Thomas Partey is out until the end of August. Sustained ligament injury in the Chelsea pre-match in Chelsea pre-season friendly. Eddie Nketiah is also out. He also sustained an injury in the Chelsea game. A lot of injuries in this Chelsea game. And Gabriel Magalhaes is still out as well, as he has an injury sustained while being away in the Olympic squad with Brazil. That being said, how do you expect them to line up? How do you think the team's gonna? How do you think Mikel Arteta is going to set up his team?
It's not going to look a lot different from what last season is at this moment in time. Arsenal haven't had many players brought in, but I think it will just be, Leno will start in goal. I think Chambers will still fit in at right back. I think Holding, I don't think he's fit enough. I know he's not injured, but I think his fitness is not there at the minute. Something that I've read. So I'm expecting the centre backs to be Ben White and Mari with Kieran Tierney and with Xhaka in the middle and the new face. Well, it'll be out of Lokonga and Elneny, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be interesting to see whether whether he's going to go with the old head of Elneny or whether he's going to, surprise us all and see a little bit more of excitement from Sambi, who's played very well in the pre-season matches. Up front, it's not going to change, is it? You're going to have Emil Smith-Rowe sitting behind. You're going to have Pepe, and you're going to have probably Lacazette or maybe Saka and Aubameyang up top. It's going to be interesting to see whether Saka plays. He's obviously played in the Spurs game. Whether we're going to see him, I don't know. I'm sort of getting the feeling that he ain't going to start, but I'm not too sure. If Saka starts, then Pepe's on the bench or Lacazette. It'd be interesting to see.
Personally, in midfield, you were saying about Sambi. Who would you like to start in midfield? Elneny? What would you like to see Sambi play alongside Granit Xhaka?
Look, this is the start of a new season now, and I think Arsenal have got to, take risks. We know what Elneny can give us. I would start with Sambi. Next to Xhaka. This is Brentford. On a normal occasion, we should beat Brentford. I'd like to see him start. I've been very impressed with him in the pre-season. And look, this is a chance for him to, cement a place. And Arsenal need to take risks. And I don't think playing Elneny is just going to take us back to where we was at last season. And as you know, it's not a place where we want to be, is it? Last season.
What do you think Sambi can bring over Elneny in a game against Brentford?
I think he's got that little bit more forwardness about him. Xhaka's seems to have had a little bit more. I think he had a great season last year, Xhaka. But he's going to be the old head there. I think Sambi, he's got that little bit of excitement. He's got a little bit more. He can move around the pitch more. He's got a little bit more, physical ability about him. He passes the ball very well. He spreads it. I've seen he can spread it to the right. He can spread it to the left. He's always looking up. He's always looking for the ball. Where I think El Nini is more of a player who wants to sit in that midfield, and again, like I said, play sort of a safe manner. I mean, if you're playing, if we was playing against Manchester United tomorrow, or we was playing against one of the top sides tomorrow. No disrespect to Brentford, they've got some good players. I may have gone and played El Nini, but we're playing against Brentford. Just give the kid a chance.
Yeah. And the Brentford team, who do you see as the danger man for Brentford?
Well, we know the danger man's going to be. Scored goals in every season that he's played in. And that's got to be the big man, Ivan Toney. He's going to be the one to watch. You pretty much, if you take him out of the game, then you more or less stop Brentford. They've made a couple of good signings. Christian Fayu from Celtic is a good signing. And you've got the other guy up front with Tony. I mean, he's known from Finland. Name escapes me for a minute, but they've got a good partnership in it, and they're danger. And the two of them up front, the Arsenal defenders are going to have to watch it. It's going to be interesting to see Ben White up against Ivan Toney, but he's certainly their danger man.
Yeah, definitely. The big one. Score predictions. What do you think the score predictions? Actually, sorry, before we go to score predictions, who do you think will be the key man for Arsenal? Who do you think is going to be an important figure in this game to potentially either unlock the defence or even a defender that could be vitally important to keep a clean sheet in this game?
Well, I think you've got to keep Ivan Toney quiet. I think if you give Ivan Toney space, if you give Ivan Toney that chance to score, he will. And Brentford are going to have the crowd behind them. It's going to be a full pitch, full stadium. Sorry. So you're looking at, I think it's going to be a really big game for Ben White. He could be key in this to keep Ivan Toney quiet. If you're going up the other end of the pitch, I think this is a massive game for Nicolas Pepe. I think he's the one who's got to be ticking, because he's the one he's the one. Aubameyang needs supply. All centre forwards need supply, and I think Pepe's the main guy who can do that.
So you say about Aubameyang, is the form that you may have seen him in pre-season a worry? Do you think, or as soon as he gets his goal, he could hit the ground running? It could be back to the old Aubameyang, because surely this season hinges on the forwards getting goals, which they didn't last year.
Yeah, they have to score. They have to score. Lacazette has to score. At the moment, there don't seem to be any signs of Lacazette moving on. So, look, which is a new show, it's a new channel. We're supporting every Arsenal player, and if Lacazette's in a red and white shirt, we're getting behind him. You're getting behind him. I'm getting behind him. So we'll be cheering on to score. He's got to get his fair share as well. But as far as Aubameyang goes, look, he's a world-class striker. He had a bad season last season. He had a few personal problems, as we all know. And what striker don't have a bad season? I mean, you're picking one. People are picking out one season out of about 6 seasons where he didn't score 35 goals. So, I'm not taking last season. I'm looking at this season as Aubameyang's going to come back. He's going to be the old Aubameyang. I'm not taking too much into what happened into pre-season. Again, big game for Aubameyang. If he can hit the ground running, we all know with strikers, if you can get a goal first game of the season, it's just could really hit him off to getting to that mark again of 25, 30 goals. And I've got a little sneaky. I mean, I said in the prediction show, I had a little sneaky feeling if Aubameyang can, get off to the start and go to play the way he can, he could easily end up being top goal scorer again.
But that surely boils down to getting the service and not just potentially one per game. Although, as we have seen, some of the chances that these forwards are missing, they should be scoring, but they need to have that sort of relaxed nature that they know that if they miss that one, there's another one's coming. Whereas it was a bit uptight last season, I felt, and it was almost like, if I don't score this, are we getting another chance? And it's a lot of pressure. Players react best when they're relaxed. So it's about the service, surely.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be important that Tierney and whoever's on the other side gets down them flanks as well. I mean, it's important that that's going to be part of Arsenal's season next year. And again, we just go back to what we just said. It's about supplying them. And again, you're spot on right. It's no good with supplying him with one chance and then Aubameyang missing that one chance. Then after the game, everybody's slagging off Aubameyang because he's missed that one chance. I mean, anybody who's played football at a high level or a decent level will tell you that if you're centre forward, you don't expect to get one chance in the game. You expect to get 5 or 6. And if they're not happening, that's not the centre forward's fault. That needs to come from your Emil Smith-Rowe's. It needs to come from your Pepe's. It needs to come down from your flanks. Lacazette ain't that type of player. That's why I feel he needs to be on. That's why I feel we need a different type of striker, someone who can help Aubameyang in different ways. But look, give Aubameyang a chance. This he needs to be supplied, and hence why in the transfer market, Arsenal are looking for this attacking midfield player, as we know.
Yeah. And quickly, just before we move on to score predictions, you mentioned that you're expecting to see Callum Chambers filling at the right back spot. Is he earned the right to hold down that spot over Cedric and Bellerin? And who would you prefer to see in that position?
I don't think Callum Chambers is ideal because he's not a right back. But to be fair to Callum Chambers, I think he's done absolutely fantastically when he's been brought in at right back and called upon to do that position. I can't remember when he's had a bad game. And for me, he's number one right back choice at the moment. Bellerin wants to go. There's no doubt. He's not number one at Arsenal anymore. He wants out. Arsenal want to get him out. It's just it's the battle of finding him a club. Cedric's quite happy just to be at Arsenal. I think he's just happy there. But the thing is, at the moment, while Arsenal have got three right backs, you're not. Arsenal won't be buying another right back. You're not going to. You won't have 4 right backs. Yeah. At the moment, with 3 of them, you got to get one of them out before you're going to buy another one. So that's not going to happen. But Callum Chambers, I think he deserves. Every time I see him, he's there on the team sheet. I'm glad he's there because I think he's just the best right back we've got at the moment.
All right. Now let's get on to the vital one. Score predictions, Steve. No pressure. What is Steve's score saying? And who are your goal scorers?
Right. Well, it's a new season, so I've got to try and come into this with a new frame of mind.
He's thinking positive. Positive. Catch him while you can, people. He's in a good mood.
A new, fresh frame of mind. So, I mean, if Arsenal come out, they've got to win this. They've had the pre-season. They've had all the chat. They know what they've got to do this season. They've got no European football. They know this, so they know this is the only thing that they've possibly got to win, plus the domestic cup competitions. So I think they'll come out. I think they'll be really on it tomorrow night, and I think we'll win this 2-0. Okay. And I think the goal scorers. I think Aubameyang will get his goal. maybe a little bit of hope more than sense here, but I hope he does. And I think Pepe may pop up as well. So I think Pepe and Aubameyang will score the goals in a 2-0 victory.
All right. So
he says,
yeah, no. And you think they're set up the normal way? Do you think there's going to be any different? Do you feel like they're going to change the way they play? Do you feel like it's going to be the same, or how do you see the game going?
Yeah, I can't see them the way. I mean, Arteta's pretty, likes his teams to be picked, and he just likes to go out there, and whether they get beat or they win or they draw, he always seems to go out there with the same formation as the following week.
Mm-hmm.
He might, all right, okay, they may change it a little times, but when he did it, that was mainly when we had an injury to a centre midfield player, and we was playing that one pivotal player, and we've got to see what Arsenal's defence is like before we start wondering whether we're playing one DM or two DMs. We have to maybe get into 2, 3, 4 games before we see, but whether we our midfield will set up. But at the moment, I just feel it'd be pretty much the same as last season. I think you'll see the midfield of Lukonga and say or Partey or Xhaka playing as a 2, and then the 1 in the front, which will obviously be Emil Smith Rowe, and then the 3 across the front, which will be Pepe, Aubameyang. See, this is the thing as well, isn't it? I mean, it's just setting Aubameyang up playing out on that left again, isn't it?
It's one of them. Where has he scored most of his goals? How has he actually played when he has gone through that middle? Because I've struggled to think of a game where I've seen him play well, where he's played through that middle on his own. In a 2, it could be completely different, but as a 1, I just nah. I feel like he's too restricted. I don't feel like he's got enough space. I just feel like he's been so used to playing on that left, taking it down the wing or cutting in, that if you want to change it, he's got to change his game. And for a 31-year-old striker, it ain't about old dog new tricks. Go with tried and tested, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though.
I mean, that's spot on, mate. I've got to agree with you more. But the thing is, what's going to be interesting, which we'll probably talk about more on the Arsenal show later on tonight or tomorrow, is this Saka Pepe situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, it just looks like one or the other.
Yeah.
And I want them both on the pitch.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know how. Unless Lacazette, we see, what I would like to see, I would like to see Aubameyang. I know you said he's not ideal, but for me, to get Saka and Pepe in the teams, I would put Aubameyang down the middle, and with Pepe and Saka on the left and on the right, to sort of and coming in and causing problems and giving Aubameyang more chances to score.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of a conundrum that Mikel Arteta's got to work out, and but that means putting Lacazette on the bench, and which personally I think that's where we should be.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, we will be covering whether Aubameyang plays through the middle, Pepe in, whether Saka and Pepe can play on the same pitch, a little bit of Martin Odegaard in the Arsenal show. We're going to cover it all. Obviously, we only got 40 minutes in that show, 45 minutes max in that show, but we will be covering all. And what we don't cover, we're putting to the next show. So people, when you watch this, hit us up in the comment section on your opinion of whether Aubameyang can play through that middle, whether we can fit Saka and Pepe in the same starting lineup. But once again, thank you very much for joining us for the pre-match preview, Steve.
You're welcome, mate. Been a pleasure. Let's hope we get off to a winning start.
Let's hope we do. And people, please hit the like. If you're new to us, hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification button, because we are coming with you with a new, brand spanking new look. New guests will be coming on. New shows. It's too much for me to handle. All right. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your